To record the meeting and I approved it.
Start
Yay!
recording.
We're doing great, guys.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Okay. So how about everybody goes through for the lessons that you signed up for the partial unit plan, go in and change how you want to make sure that you have the proper assessment dates in there.
Okay, let me.
Do you get what
I
I'm
was
saying?
just looking, and we have through the 14th, and I think I was the last one through the 10th, unless I like signed up wrong. If not, then we still have like other days that aren't filled yet, if that makes sense.
Yes. Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like we still have the 12th, 13th, and 14th as like 5 extra lessons.
And you might not fill up every lesson in the map because I think there's going to be more lessons than you have unit bases. So all you need is just 5 lessons. That's it. Each person needs to have 5 lessons, and I just don't want them to be exactly the same. So even if there's a little overlap and things like that, that's okay. I don't think we have to have like 5 totally distinct lessons, but you want to have 5 that you can use for your unit.
Okay, cool.
And think about those last ones. Those are our review and our assessment days. So those are kind of the perfect days for us to leave out of our partial unit plans, I think.
I agree.
Okay, well, that's good news.
Most likely in an elementary setting, we wouldn't have a lot of days that are like earmarked for review and assessment. I think it's more common that like the assessment is sort of intertwined in what we do. At least that's what we see here when we take students out to the field.
Oh.
Now, secondary schooling, totally different situation. It's like weeks reviewing for tests, but like elementary seems a little different in that regard here.
So you think, in your opinion, then that we have too many review and assessment dates specifically just listed that way?
I mean, I wouldn't do curriculum planning that way in 5th grade. I don't think you need to change it now. It's fine. We just need 5 lessons right now for our units.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
It's an exercise, right? None of this is going to be perfect, and that's fine. We're just trying to map it out and have it make sense for us. That's the most important thing. 5 lessons, and they make sense together for us.
Okay.
Okay, so everybody looking at what you have for your lessons, then seeing them all together in one unit plan, does everybody feel okay about what they have for their unit plan?
Yeah.
I feel fine with mine.
Yeah, I think mine will be okay. There's like an assessment right in the middle of mine, so hopefully that will be fine, but I'm thinking it will.
I mean, maybe another thing that we could do, because he said that it doesn't have to be sequential, you could skip that assessment. We could make adjustments to where you're just not using the assessment date and you're grabbing the next lesson.
Move it to
Maybe.
day 5 in the unit, basically.
I'm sorry, say that one more time, Dr. Davis.
Move it to day 5 in the unit. So that's how I would look at it. So if I have something that looks like it's going to be an assessment in the middle of the week, I'm just going to move that to the end and then assess all the standards together.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. I can do
The next
that.
step is to go from here to creating the summative assessment. That should happen at the end of the unit, not in the middle. So that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Dr. Davis.
Okay. And also, I think you guys, we don't need to, as long as we know which ones we're in charge of, I think that we can think about it a little bit. Right? Like, is that the last part of our discussion today? Do we need to discuss each of these things, or that seems kind of more of like a individual activity?
That's what I was thinking.
You can handle that either way. So if you want to stay on and work on that together, or if you want to split up and do your individual piece and then just kind of let each other know so you can have one person submit that item. that's up to you. It's just important to me that we know like what we need to put in each of the rows here, just to begin this unit plan.
Okay.
And I mean, I can answer questions about that here quickly, just to make sure, and then you can decide what you want to do. You don't have to stay here for my benefit.
Okay.
Okay.
Maddie, on yours, where you have 2 assessments right there, is there anything you want to change in yours? Like looking at your standards, are you, are we
I'm on a meeting, Mom.
kind of 2, are we kind of mashing up 2 units on yours? You're kind of ending, maybe we take away that first one for you, like that assessment piece, and just let me assess that unit that I covering, and then you start with math 1 on the 30th. I think maybe we'll have to make some adjustments now, everybody's things, but I think that it would make sense for me to include math 2 assessment in my unit. For you,
Yeah.
with some,
Let me look at everybody else's.
Really quick, Sadie, I had a question too. Since you're on that weekend anyways, would you want to do the end part of that week and do all of standard 2?
So Maddie,
I'm sorry, everyone's breaking out right now.
I'll mute myself. I'm not a part of this.
Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
Sorry, really quick. I just had a question for Sadie. Since we're changing like the assessments and everything like
kicked
that.
me out of the meeting.
What? But anyways, because like that first part, like the 10th and 11th is pretty, or I guess like the 11th and 12th is just a ton of review. Would you want me to take a couple of the lessons from the 10th and then you could do like the 12th, 13th, and 14th?
Let me look at it really quick.
Okay, because then you're not just doing like a bunch of review and assessment lessons for it, and then you're like doing like the standard 2.
Did I upload the right ones? Because the ones that I'm looking at is like introduce volume, show unit cubic multiplication, solving problems with volume formulas. And then on the 12th is the only one, at the one I'm looking at least, that has a review.
So are we just going to break up and do this individually, or going to stay on the Zoom meeting and do it together?
Okay, sorry. I just was trying the other Zoom meeting like finished what's the word, uploading, so I was like figuring that out really quick. But for mine with doing the assessment on number 1, I'm wondering if I'm just like looking at it and it's, see who's got the 3rd, because where does that one do? I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I could do, I don't know, like I don't necessarily have a problem doing the assessment to the first standard, but it is kind of weird, like I start with an assessment. I just don't know if I want to
Yeah, I kind
change it to like mess everybody else up.
I think we need to make some adjustments on Zoom before we all get off so that we're all
Yeah.
on the same page. Because I feel like it would be like, I don't know if that would be like good if somebody has like 2 assessments and a review in their partial plan unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which we can do some of the same ones. Is that right? Or am I just making sure we're not doing the completely the same things? Is that true, or am I being crazy?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What was that question again? Sorry, I can't listen and type at the same time.
On some of like our standards, I guess, could we double up on a couple of them, or do you want us to have completely different ones from everybody in our group?
No, it's fine if there's overlap between them, but
Okay.
no 2 people should have exactly the same 5 lessons.
Perfect. Okay.
And
Thank you.
don't test me on that too. Like 2 people have 90% the same standards. Like we're trying to get it separate, but it's okay if you end up sharing lessons or even a day in the unit. That's okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, then maybe we try to keep kind of those same concepts and skills together, even if
Yeah.
we're sharing a small portion of those, just so that our unit plans are sequential and they make sense. That way I'm not totally finishing the last lesson of one partial unit. And do you guys get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So one idea I had is we could do it so on January 31st, there's like, whoa, something just went crazy. Okay. If who has February 3rd, 4th, and 5th, those
I
days?
do. I was just thinking that on the
If you
31st,
took the last lesson, you could do 1, 2, 3, 4,
2 through
5, and
4.
end with your assessment.
Mm-hmm.
So you take Math 2 MD4 intro
Okay.
to your first lesson and then boot out, what was your 5th one? MD5 measure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. 1, 2, 3. Because then where's 5 stop? And then someone could do 5 lessons of MD5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
I
and then
can do
the
those since I was already doing like the end half of 5, so I can just take that first part on like the 5th, and then just take pretty much all of 5, 6, and 7.
which you only have to do 5 lessons, so you can just pick 5 of those, which
Yeah, and one of them's like 2 days or 2 of those lessons anyways are assessments, so I can just technically remove one and just do 5 lessons with one of them being an assessment.
perfect. Okay, and then what does everybody else have here? 31st,
I
perfect.
had the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Okay.
Assessment.
And then on the 12th, I just did, or so I did the 10th, all of those, the 11th, all of those, and then the 12th, I just did math 1 and didn't do math 2.
Okay, once again, where is the end? Okay, sorry, what five ones are you gonna take from MD5? Who is taking those again?
That was Sadie, wasn't it?
I have MD5 on mine. Yeah.
I
MD.
think we take out, I don't think that someone should have math 2 on February 11th in their partial unit plan. I don't know. I think math 2 on the 11th, math 1 and math 2 on the 12th. That seems kind of unfair for your partial unit plan because you're reviewing all of the standards. Like that just
Yeah.
seems like that would be so hard for someone to do. I think we should try to make some adjustments for whoever was signed up for those dates.
Is anyone touching standard 2 on the 13th and the 14th?
No, we've got
I
to put
don't think
there.
so, but I can change mine to those.
Would you rather do that? The only thing is like your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would be there's only 4 lessons for unit 2.
I'll delete these ones that I have right here, and then we can look at the ones we need to cover, and I can cover those.
Okay.
I also think that standard 2 would go well in a unit plan with standard 4. If we didn't want to, we could do standard 4 intro, standard 4 measure, standard 4 counting using, that's 3. And then standard 2 solve use. I don't know, it's like kind of jumbled now. Maybe it was a disservice that we added so much assessments. I didn't realize that we should just kind of include those in our standard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
I hear what Dr. is saying, like that the assessment should just be built into what you're doing. I just don't want someone to have to be stuck with assessments in their partial unit plan as like their actual standard assignment.
Yeah.
I think that it's fine as long as it's at the end, like you were saying,
Right.
because like I think it'll be like, okay, because you have to make an assessment anyway, right, Dr. Davis?
Right.
And so it would be fine as the last lesson.
So once you get your unit plan started, you'll have the summative assessment. That'll be the 5th day, wherever that is. We're just going to do that because it should be the last day. But then each lesson plan will have a very small assessment. We'll call that an ongoing assessment. So the idea is like if I do the 4 ongoing assessments leading up to the summative assessment, hopefully I'm prepared in order to do that. So like every day will have an assessment. It's just that you're going to have one day that will have a little bit more comprehensive an assessment that covers all the standards rather than just like one from that day.
Okay, that makes more sense to me. Thanks for clarifying, both of you.
Maddie, I'm looking at these again, and so I traded all mine, so I got the 13th math 1 and 2. What other 3 did you say that we should, because I just see present and assessment on the other ones.
Yeah,
Maybe-
I have an idea.
I did actually look at those. I was just thinking too.
Let's hear that idea.
So since I'm taking the 5th, 6th, and 7th, Sadie, if you were to take 13, 14, and take 10, because technically both of them are solving, we just split it up in between like individual and then small group solving. So you can combine math 1 and 2 technically for one lesson, and then that gets you your 5.
Okay.
And then we can just like disregard the 11th and 12th. You know what I mean?
Right. So do you think I should do the 10th first and then 13, 14?
Yes.
Okay. And then on 14th, the assessment, so math 2, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that help.
Okay, and then like I still have the assessment of the standard 1, but I'm wondering if I just double up and go with the starting with helping on number 4 with the 3rd.
Yes, because I'm going to do the standard 1 assessment at the end of the unit.
Are there any more lessons
That,
devoted to standard 3?
or do we need to add another lesson? Yeah.
Because there's just 2, and then the
Where's
assessment.
the standards page? Give me 1 second. Standard 3, right? Okay, 1, 2, 3. What are the two
Yeah.
what are the two things we have going right now? Sorry.
I was just going to say, I need to jump out at this point. So tag me in the document if you have any questions, or send me an email and I can help sort things out. But I think we have a pretty good start. It's just a matter of fleshing out the rest of this column that you have. So keep in mind that this is a brainstorm. So like a lot of these things may change. Hopefully we have our lessons and everything and we know roughly what we're responsible for. But in terms of like the connection between the standards, the form of the summative assessment, we're just looking to get some ideas on that right now, and then we'll develop that out over the next couple weeks as we work towards the midterm.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you,
very
doctor.
much.
Let me know if you need anything.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, as I was looking at it, I feel like I could just do a little bit more of like recognizing and understanding with unit 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts? So then I could just do like the first, so I could end the 31st
With the assessment.
with the assessment and start it with a little bit more of understanding and recognizing.
Do you feel like you have like that you want to get standard 2 in there with standard 3 to make up your 5? Or
Well, standard 2 is the one that doesn't really relate to any of them.
yeah.
So I don't know if you want to just throw in 1 day of that. You could throw in maybe 1 day of 1 or 1 day of 4.
Can say,
But I
or
wouldn't.
or I could do.
Don't do 1 because I will have already done the assessment. So that wouldn't make sense to bring 1 back into it.
Just do the same one that I'm doing, the MD4 intro.
Yeah.
Okay, MD3, a little bit more of understanding. And then,
No, because that will be your 5. 1,
yeah,
2,
sorry.
3. So just do MD4 intro.
Sadie, on your days, I can see your 5 that you've picked, but could you adjust your dates so that are you teaching them sequentially, or are you teaching 2 on the 10th and then you have a break? Is that right, or is that just a mistake?
This was the one that was Emily's idea.
Okay,
can
no,
you remind me what you said?
Yeah, so what I was thinking for this was because if we're looking at the remaining units, if we were to do all of standard 2, that would be about 4 lessons, and then I'm already taking a majority of standard 5, and on the 10th is just solving in general. So I figured that would be a good lesson for her to take over as like a 5th one. And plus on the 11th and 12th, it's just assessments and reviews for other things. And like he was saying, we don't need that much time set apart for just assessments and review.
Yeah.
So then, Emily, will you look at how mine is set up and like see if it's like in a different order? Because I understand what you're saying, but maybe I just have them in an order that's like confusing.
Yeah, let me look at it real quick. Let me see.
Like kind of what I was thinking was I was just wondering is she supposed to be teaching sequential days and we move those reviews and assessments to the end?
I don't think it matters if she teaches in sequential days.
No.
I just think you're just supposed to pick the lessons that you want to teach. And I don't think it matters if they're sequential days.
Yeah, I think you'd be fine. Sadie, what you could do, honestly, is you can kind of just remove like math 1 for the 10th, because both of them are technically solving anyways. But then on the 14th, you can just add the math 1 that was for it, which was oh gosh, what was it called? Like the present part.
Okay.
Then you still have the 5. Does that make sense?
Yes. Thank
Okay.
you.
Mm-hmm. And then also really quick question. For the standards, like the unit standards, I think we're only supposed to put the standards that our unit, like our individual unit plans are using. Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes,
that's what.
so there are some notes
Oh,
in the Dr. Davies left some notes in the comments. I put those at the very bottom of our Google Doc. It's like he
okay.
goes a little bit
So,
into unit standards, connections, and then summative assessments.
okay, perfect. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I was like understanding that note correctly. So,
Yeah.
okay. Cool, cool.
Okay, I think we're good. Does everyone just want to read through what everyone has as their 5 lessons and make sure everything like looks good and sounds good? Do that
Yep.
real quick and then we can work on our own for the rest of the week.
And when do we want to have this done by? Like, when is our deadline that we need to have all of our stuff done so that we can submit it? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it should probably be before Sunday, I'm
I see
thinking.
what you're saying. I see what you're
You
saying.
know,
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
when do you want all of this to be done? Because I'll probably just end up just doing it right now, just while I'm thinking about it, you know? But
Um, sorry, I don't know why my voice is being so dumb. If you guys are okay with it, I would like to have this like done, or at least like close to being done by Friday. So then if any adjustments need to be made, or if like anything didn't line up or anything like that, then I can like email you guys on like Saturday about it.
mhm.
And then if you guys are able to just put the links into that comment above like the first part of the discussion for like the recordings, then
Yeah.
let's just plan on having this done no later than Saturday, just so then we can kind of enjoy. Or would you guys prefer Friday or Saturday?
Friday.
I'll have to get it done before Friday. I'm busy this weekend.
Okay, perfect. Then let's just say like have it done and ready to be submitted by Friday night, because then we can enjoy Super Bowl weekend. So
Perfect.
cool, cool. And then if we have
Okay.
any questions, we can just hit each other up in the uh
No.
email.
Email.
Do you
Which
guys want to start like a group chat? Would that be easier? Because I know personally I don't see emails very well. So
I
like
would
if I saw
prefer
like an actual
text.
message, then like I could do it.
Yeah, should we all put our numbers in the chat and then someone can make a group chat
I
with all of
can
us?
make it if somebody like if everybody puts their numbers in.
Where's chat?
And then will you guys just like text back your names so then everybody can like make a contact and everything?
Perfect.
I promise I'm working on it. My fingernails are just so long that it takes forever.
You're totally good. Okay. Well, before we all hop off, does anyone else have any other questions about the document or anything like that before we go our separate ways?
I'm good.
Cool. So then, yeah, let's just plan on having this done by Friday, and I will send you guys a text message also in the group chat letting you know once it's been submitted.
You're amazing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys. See ya.